I had a blast Memorial Day weekend, taking Friday and Tuesday off. Of course, I'm back at it now with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop, 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And of course, I want to hear from you now. Where should we go kayaking next? Megan and I took a short trek to Lake Shelbyville and had a good time. Put this video together yesterday to kind of highlight some of the things we did, and I want to hear from you next on where we should go to take in more nice, serene, quiet waters. Maybe some rapids. I don't know about that. I'll have to see if my kayaks can handle that. But here's a little bit of our trip. And if you're following along on Facebook Live or Bishop on Air via YouTube, Rumble as well, you can find us there. And you'll see just some of the sights from our journey to Lake Shelbyville over Memorial Day weekend. All right, so for Memorial Day weekend, we made a quick trip to Shelbyville, stayed at a cabin in Robin Hood Woods. It was a resort, all kinds of camping happening.
Yeah, it was really nicely set up, kind of glamping. We had tons of beds that we didn't need.
Very cool woodworking, just relaxing right on the catch and release pond, and Memorial Day weekend was jam-packed with all kinds of activity. People riding their bikes, and golf carts, and fishing. Nighttime was beautiful. Frogs were loud. Morning was just serene. Perfect weather in Shelbyville. And then we went kayaking in many different places. Some places a bit windy, other places not so much. After we dropped our kayaks in, found some nice quiet waters.
I like this particular place because this is our first time that we've traveled with the kayaks, right? So we weren't really sure where we were going to put our kayaks in, how we were going to put them in.
But we did stumble upon what I guess is considered Party Cove. And then we come around a corner, and it was just boats galore.
I thought that the whole holiday was going to be like this number of boats, and who wants to kayak around that? But
it was actually kind of fun. Yeah, caught this from one of these boats. Sweet.
It was, because we had our little private experience down in kind of like the fingers of the lake, and then we went and mooched beer off people after we paddled around for a little bit.
But learning experience for sure, having the kayaks and being able to transport those, we definitely see ourselves doing this a whole bunch more in the future. Looking forward to short little getaways, being able to drop the kayaks in and just kind of unplug for a bit, take in some nature and find those places that don't get traveled that much. And this was definitely one of those places where we went down, what was it, Wolf Creek?
We didn't know that's where we were going. That's kind of what made it magical. We had been there the day before and kind of noticed that this area went back a little ways, so we decided to follow it. It was the kind of situation where the creek was winding and bending, and you couldn't see around the bend, so you thought, oh, is this the end? And then there'd be something magical when you turn the corner, like giant turtles or herons, or we saw a family of ducks, and then at the end, a beaver dam.
So if you know of any other good places that are a short travel away from Springfield, we can go drop some kayaks in, let us know. We are game. So what do you think? Where can we find some other good places to kayak? 217-629-7970. Again, 217-629-7970. That's how you can chime in. Already got a lot of different comments, including on Twitter. Says several of you, have you tried the Sangamon River from Petersburg to New Salem? It's like reenacting Lincoln's River excursions. I like that. We're going to have to give that a shot sometime. Let's see here. Somebody else suggesting that we hit up Sugar Creek off Old Chatham Road, easy access, and So Quiet. Also recommended a weekend trip to Chicago to kayak the Chicago River. take the architecture tour. It's worth every dime. I would like to do that sometime. I don't know exactly how I would make that happen exactly. It would take a little bit of logistics because, what do I do with my truck whenever I get the kayaks up there? It's going to cost an arm and a leg to do I have to get a permit to get into the Chicago River to be able to kayak that? But that would be pretty intense, actually. Some other people commenting in various places, and you can always comment live at 217-629-7970. Again, 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here, live and local. Where should we kayak next? Go and email bishoponair@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Just search out Bishop on Air, and we can connect that way. But where else should we kayak? And I've got some comments here on YouTube suggesting that we go to some other local places that could possibly provide for some really, really nice scenic areas to ultimately have a good time and to take in nature. And here's a comment. It says, Lake Shelbyville is such a nice lake. I remember camping there as a kid 30 years ago. I remember vividly almost falling into the water on the backside of the dam or spillway. The concrete was very wet and covered in moss. I stepped and slipped on the edge, barely catching myself before ending up in the drink. A place I'd like to raft is down up north of Vermilion River. There's a nice section there. Really nice little bit of rapids, nice wide section, fairly shallow, and rock bottom. Beautiful place, he says. You should take the drive up there in the weekend. It's right there at 178, crosses the river. You can visit Starved Rock as well. And Carlisle Lake, somebody telling me is a good place to go. But if you've got suggestions, I'm all ears. All right, so we got these kayaks, got the nice truck to be able to transport them where we want. We're going to hit up St. Chris Lake. I'm hearing Sugar Creek multiple times. So maybe some of these areas, but if you've got others, even if it's not directly in Illinois, if it's in Indiana or Missouri, I hear that there's some caves that you can actually get some kayaks in. So I got some research to do, but very much looking forward to sharing that with you. And if you've got any tips or tricks, if you're a kayaker, I want to hear about it, especially if it's even right here in our backyard. Where can I go? Just drop the kayaks in and take in some nice scenic, quiet, serene in my day-to-day life. Having that type of thing definitely helps keep me sane. So I appreciate everybody chiming in on that. And again, you can always message Bishop on Air. Somebody just messaged and said the Black River in Missouri. I'll have to check that out. But we'll definitely be compiling a list of sorts to see where we can go and drop our kayaks in. Quick phone call here. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Hey, Greg. Hey, I saw your pictures on Facebook, and you guys look like you had a freaking amazing time.
It was great. And I got to add, I literally, we went into Party Cove, and Megan and I are just kayaking, doing our thing, and there's tons of boats all over the place, frat brothers and all kinds of things. And I go up to a boat. I'm just like, hey, got an extra beer? They looked at me like I was an alien. And then one guy's like, yeah. He opens up his cooler, and it's a good, 30-yard toss. He underhands it. And I just it was like a movie. I'm just kicked back in my kayak and I just put my hand up, bam! Caught that Michelob Ultra.
See, no better thing than that, to be quite honest with you, Greg. There's no better thing at all. But I was going to say and mention the Current River, Missouri. And the thing there is you can do a weekend trip there and go camping and literally just pull off because it's a federal park.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. The Current River. So I've got a nice long list here of places to get all lined up, and there's plenty of weekends all summer long. Hey, I appreciate the calls and all the suggestions. Again, bishoponair@gmail.com is how you can provide your suggestions, and we'll be sharing with you where else we go. Appreciate all the